Oh, I'm here.
Yeah, why did that stop? That shouldn't have stopped.
The
countdown
music?
stopped. Hello, everybody.
Whoa.
Scotty Tooms, go right ahead.
Yay, Scotty Tooms here, the Analog Basement, Jon Cross, Be Kind Movie Vault, the After Movie Diner, the PM Entertainment Podcast, a whole slew of other things. We are back for episode 3 of the new and improved VHS show. Oh my word. Just
lots of technical. We haven't had one show yet without technical issues.
No, we haven't. And I'm like, I got like my stupid little microphone here is stupid. And yeah, so here we are. Hope you're I don't know. Hope you're watching, I guess.
You seem a little frazzled, dude. I think all this kind of knocked you out of whack a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. And
Even
I think
the hair is a little.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's getting long is the problem. So.
Oh, that's not a problem, my friend. It's not a problem. We
have
4 people watching right now.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I'd really like to put on a different camera, but we'll do that. We'll deal with that some other day. So yeah, welcome to the VHS Show.
I can't apologize. If it was my fault, I can't apologize enough, my friend.
It's not your fault. But we are. I've already indulged in a beverage. I've got my I'll drink to your leg Jaws beer glass that my wonderful family got me.
I have my Reanimator koozie.
Oh, I love it.
That says, "Who's going to believe a talking head?"
That's great.
And contained within my koozie, I have I think a lemon and lime seltzer.
Sweet. Nice. I got a black cherry seltzer around here somewhere, but I also have a Miller High Life can on deck, friend. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Now that's a little wild.
So we've now got 5 people watching. I can confirm we definitely have Matthew Poirier in the comments. We also have Tropico Beats on Instagram. Hey, Tropico Beats. Hey, Matt. How we all doing tonight?
I'm trying to get comfy.
Shout yourself out in the comments, peeps. We want to hear you in the comments.
We do, yeah. So if you have anything interesting you want to add, or if you whatever,
yeah,
comment away.
Junebug, commenting up here. Z Junebug, happy Thursdays.
Woo!
And, Gary Hill, my brother from another mother with the beard. It is Gary Hill, doing well, looking great. He's here and on time even. And it's funny, Gary, because we weren't on time because of technical shenanigans.
Complete shenanigans. Would you like to jump right into it? I'm trying to find a place to put my drink. What do we usually start with? We usually start with any things that we watched.
What we watched this week. We normally start with what we watch and we end with our picks. So I'm going to go 2 for. I'm going to hit you up with a double bill. That's what I'm going to do.
I'm ready.
And, well, Matt is shouting "Go Celtics" in the comments because Matt's a New Englander like yourself, my friend.
They need to wake up, Fran. They need to wake up.
However,
they need to hit more than 30% of their field goals for once this Knicks series.
However, my Leafs hockey 2 for 2 in the second round of the playoffs already against the Panthers. Woo-hoo!
That's great.
Yeah, go Leafs, my friend. Go
Bruins
Leafs.
stunk this year, so
yeah, good.
I know, right? We always had ourselves a little friendly rivalry when the Leafs and the Bruins played each other.
Yes, indeed. No, I don't begrudge any of my friends from the Boston area. I just begrudge all the sports teams from the Boston area.
As most do. I mean, what can you say?
It's all good, my friend. It's all good. Okay, so I got a double bill, and I'm going to try and run through them in the same kind of tenacity, passion, and short time that I would run through just a single tape. But it was too good to not have a double bill. Great. Also, this person is hot right now. She is hot.
Okay.
She is hotter. She is on the BAFTAs red carpet.
Ooh.
She won the Oscars. She won a shit ton of awards lately for a horror movie, no less. We're talking the goddess that is Demi Moore. And some people say Demi Moore, and that's fine. I'm a Demi Moore guy, but Demi Moore is also fine. And I watched not one but two VHS featuring a very young Madame Moore.
Okay.
And one is the Jon Cryer Demi Moore film, No Small Affair.
Whoa.
In which Jon Cryer plays a photographer who's only like 15, because it's the 80s and 15-year-olds can date 22-year-olds apparently.
Yeah.
And plays a photographer who becomes enamored with a local sleazy bar room chanteuse played by Demi Moore, a singer in a local sleazy bar. The sleazy bar run by George Wendt, no less. A very handsy boss. There's a lot of weird sexual politics in this movie.
Nice.
George Wendt plays a handsy boss. Demi Moore plays a chanteuse in a kind of female-led punk rock band.
Okay.
That's was very now and hip in the 80s, and I love it. Big fan of that.
Mm-hmm.
And Jon Cryer becomes enamored with her when he sees her on the dock one morning when he's trying to photograph some boats and stuff, and decides to pursue her as a photography subject, and sort of falls for her music, falls for the woman, and decides to go all out. And instead of using the money that he was going to use to go to college, he blows it all on some taxi cab ads for Demi Moore's singer. Yeah, it all works out, of course. So No Small Affair. It's from the early 80s.
So wait, it sounds like she plays the same character that she plays in One Crazy Summer with John Cusack.
Kind of. Kind of. In fact, Gary Hill just asked, do you prefer her singing in this or One Crazy Summer? Well, I can confirm that her singing in this is not her singing. So
no, I don't think it is in One Crazy Summer either.
Or do you like it when she gets on top of the bass drum in St. Elmo's Fire and rides it like a horse while an incredibly sweaty Rob Lowe shakes his greasy moulet all over the crowd?
Oh yeah, he definitely has a greasy moulet in that movie. That's great.
Because apparently if you're in a bar in the 80s, what you want to do is get some of Rob Lowe's hairy man juice in your mouth while he's rocking a saxophone. Anyway,
I mean, who wouldn't?
I thought this was fine. So what's interesting is I've never been a huge fan of Jon Cryer. Yet, weirdly, in recent times, I had a guy who constantly contacted me through the podcast, The After Movie Diner, for like the last 10 years, desperate for me to watch the movie Hiding Out, which, interestingly enough, just got announced today.
Yes.
There's a 4K coming of Hiding Out. So it jumped from VHS. It jumped 2 other formats to come slamming into 4K.
I have the DVD.
Oh, it did. It make it DVD? Okay, because I only have it on VHS. All right.
Yep.
So, but limited, right? It wasn't on DVD for very long. I think it was part of that like cult 80s thing, if I remember. Anyway, I watched Hiding Out and I thought, yeah, sure, it's fine. It's sort of an average adult goes to high school and tries to blend in kind of film. And you're kind of like, well, how are they going to do the whole love interest thing? Because surely that's a bit skeevy, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's fine. Hiding Out. Yeah, so it's the Lost Collection, right?
Yeah, the Lionsgate Lost Collection, which I have a whole bunch of, actually. Not of this movie, but different Lost Collection movies.
Jon Cryer is proof that there is no such thing as a bad Lex Luthor, says Gary Hill. So
Gary Hill and me, wow, we're like
you're the Superman fan, Scotty Tooms.
Yeah. Jon Cryer was a great Lex Luthor. It was He was a great Lenny Luthor, and he was a great Lex Luthor.
So I can't speak to it because I don't really know what instance of Superman you're talking about. But
it was the most recent TV show that they did.
Oh, okay, lovely.
With Tyler Hoechlin from Everybody Wants Some that we talked about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice. All right, very cool. So my Jon Cryer exposure outside of Pretty in Pink, I always found him to be incredibly unfunny and incredibly annoying. I watched Hiding Out and I'm like, oh, okay. Then I watched Dudes and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm starting to get with the Cryer program. So what was funny is around about the time I was kind of collecting a lot of VHS lately, Cryer kept popping up it on VHS. I just found him on a lot of like cheap. There's is it Coming Home Morgan Stanley or whatever that movie is?
Yep.
Dudes I got on VHS, Hiding Out I got on VHS,
Yep.
and No Small Affair. And No Small Affair was the sort of the last one I watched, and I watched it. And like I say, it's it's not going to replace Breakfast Club or St. Elmo's Fire or even Dudes in my pantheon of like 80s movies that I love, but it's very well made. Lots of like cameos from people like George Wendt and stuff. It's very 80s. Demi Moore is great. Jon Cross is great. It's a perfectly serviceable, decent film. So no, I'm not casting any shade at No Small Affair. I'm just not about to start telling everyone that they have to go out and watch it. It's absolutely fine. Gary Hill is saying that Dudes is a favorite, banging soundtrack. I cannot agree more. Dudes is my favorite Jon Cross movie. It's awesome.
Excellent.
So the second Demi Moore movie, and I'll be even quicker about this, but this one I found a lot more interesting. This one, I think, this is one that Emilio Estevez and Demi Moore. Emilio Estevez was, when this movie came out, legitimately the youngest triple threat to have ever existed in Hollywood. At 23 years old, he wrote, directed, and starred in this movie. When asked about this movie in 2000, 2001, he dismissed it as a vanity project, right? He was like, I didn't know what I was doing, blah, 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 blah. Listen, Emilio, stop with that bullshit, my friend. Stop trying to disown it. You were the youngest triple threat Hollywood had ever seen. I think it's been surpassed now by someone else. But at the time when this movie came out, it co-stars Demi Moore. And sorry, one quick thing on No Small Affair.
Yes.
In her book, she claims that she took Jon Cross's virginity on the set of this movie. He then later debunked that on Twitter, saying, I'd already had sex with someone else, Demi. Don't claim that shit.
Brutal.
Back to the Emilio Demi film.
Yeah.
As you know, my friend, you and I are huge fans of I think, Emilio's magnum opus, Men at Work. Men at Work, it's a classic. It should be on everyone. It's up there for me with, it's not as good as The Burbs, but it's up there in terms of VHS memories of video stores. Men at Work, The Burbs. That was the prime era, my friend, prime era. Well, a few years before Men at Work, we got this movie, Wisdom, which is Emilio Estevez, Demi Moore. Now, this movie, I think, despite Emilio himself dismissing it in 2000, has only grown in relevance because the actual concept of the movie is that Emilio Estevez has a accident as a teenager or whatever, where he gets pulled over and convicted of something. I forget exactly what it is. It's maybe it's drink driving or something like that. But it's he gets convicted of something, right? And a felony charge. Is drink driving a felony charge? Or maybe he has like 3 or 4 DUIs. I don't know what it is. Anyway, he makes a mistake as a teen, as a young man, as a very early in his life man, and gets a single felony charge, right? He didn't hurt anyone else. No one else was killed or hurt or whatever. But he has this felony charge. We open the movie. He is trying to get a job. Any job, he's trying to get a job. And every job he tries to get, he either gets let down for the job because he has this felony charge, or even when he's in the job, like he gets a job as a janitorial staff in a skyscraper. And halfway through, the guy who the head janitor who hired him says, you're too smart to be working around here. I can't have you working around here. You shouldn't be here. Whatever, lets him go. So Emilio Estevez cannot catch a break. His dad is like kind of disgusted with him, kind of proud of him, but also one of those like stoic 80s dads, won't speak up. His mother's all over the place, doesn't know what's going on. And Demi Moore, his girlfriend, she is just like, you need to sort this shit out because whatever it is, it's messing with our relationship, it's messing with your head, it's messing with the whole thing. He sees on the TV a documentary report about how farmers and small businesses are being screwed over their like mortgage interest rate, whatever, and banks basically banks like foreclosing on businesses that were still trying to like run out the clock, basically. And there's a whole documentary show that he watches on it. And he's like, fine, I'm going to rob banks. But instead of like stealing money from banks, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to, because back then it wasn't computers, it was all on paperwork, all mortgage files and everything like that were kind of on paperwork. He goes in and like blows up with firecrackers and stuff, all the filing cabinets with all the mortgage stuff, essentially resetting everyone's debt like to zero, right?
Wow.
Sort of. I mean, I know it doesn't technically hold up in a realistic sense, but
yeah,
you know, back then so they go on the run, Bonnie and Clyde style and Badlands style, because obviously Martin Sheen, Badlands, Sissy Spacek, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Obviously Emilio is kind of trying to tie his storyline to this. And Demi Moore is like, I'm your girlfriend. I'm in this for the long haul. Like, this is happening. You and I going on the road. I'll be your getaway driver. You be the guy who blows up stuff in the banks and whatever. And they kind of become like folk heroes. They because the local, whenever the FBI or the news show up in these small towns, no one in the small towns will say anything because they're helping out all their businesses.
Yeah.
And when the news shows up, all they've got is like all they're doing is singing their praises, whatever. He becomes a folk hero. So it's just like it's a fun road movie. You know, I love road movies.
Yep.
It's got Emilio and Demi, two of my favorites from the 80s. You know what I mean? Love to see it. Emilio writes and directs, and although he gives himself a hard time, I think there's a lot of like Men at Work style, like deadpan humor in this, along with obviously a lot of commentary about blue collar workers, as there is in Men at Work. So I think this is like a spiritual precursor to Men at Work. You've got a little bit of the Badlands, a little bit of the Bonnie and Clyde, a little bit of the like folk hero, you know, thing. The only thing I will say about Wisdom is the ending. He didn't write an ending. Like he couldn't figure out how to get out of this predicament. You know what I mean? And a lot of kind of criminals on the run movies run foul of this because you're like, well, how do we end it? We either end it with them going to prison, or we end it with them being killed, or you know what I mean? Like there's only so many ways, right? Without it being completely unbelievable. You know, sometimes there's like a get out of jail free card because they save a baby up a tree or something. You know what I mean? But like invariably, like trying to end these films are not so good. So I'm not going to say that Wisdom ends with a bang. It ends with a bit of a whimper. But right up until the ending, I think Emilio is wrong. I think this movie's more relevant now than ever before. I think it's fun. I think it's weird. I think it's wonderful. I think it's romantic. I think it's action-packed. And for lovers of the Brat Pack and 80s road movies and all the things I've mentioned, you would be well pressed to find this movie and watch it. I was very pleasantly surprised.
Excellent.
And I will be doing a full review of the film on the next podcast with Gary Hill, who's in the comments.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, cool. So I didn't really get to watch much at all this whole time, the last 2 weeks. I know, so terrible. What I did do though was, and if you follow me on my Instagram, the Analog Basement, you will see that I redid and built some new VHS shelves. I'm very happy about that. Very excited about that.
Can you show them to us? Can you spin the laptop around?
Yes, I think I can. Let me see. Let me move my Miller High Life.
Because I saw this on Analog Basement, dude, and I was like super happy and super impressed.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I've similarly done the same recently.
Yeah, there we go.
Looking sweet, my friend. Look at that. It's a VHS show filling up.
Built in some shelves. They're secured to the wall. I put a nice long piece of, you know, wood board, whatever, at the top to use as my top shelf for all my figures and things like that. Put some LED lights in under there so they look nice. And truthfully, they came together pretty quickly because I more or less kind of did it the same way that I did my DVD shelves. Same wood and all that kind of stuff. And I just, the day that I got it, or within the first couple days that I got it, I spray painted it black. And then as soon as it dried, I screwed them all together and brought them in, and I'm super psyched up about it because before they were all in one bookcase and they were 2 rows deep, so I couldn't see all of them,
Right.
which was incredibly annoying. So now they're all out and I can see all of them, and I love it. And the shelf on top is there's more space for figures and things like that. I feel like such a jamoke talking about figures, but this is what we do here at the Analog Basement. We do physical media, friends. We do action figures. We do all of it. So
look,
I have a couple.
Look,
listen,
I got some figures up here, dude. Look, I'm not without figures.
Yeah, you gotta have figures. They're like accent pieces for your films and things like that. And I'm glad that I have extra space now because I have my McCready that I've never opened that he needs to go out on a shelf. And I also have my Quint that needs to go out on a shelf.
Boom.
So that's what's going to be.
Matt Poirier is saying, I've got bobblehead, so I get it.
Yeah, heck yeah, man.
Also, Kim has joined us, my dear wife, Kim. And she says that your shelves look pretty. And she also says, well done, Scott. I would like to echo that because what Scott does, instead of taking the shortcut like old Muggins here, went and just bought a bunch of shelves, Scott makes them with brawn and manly energy and nails and hammers and things that require physical brawn and toughness because Scott's a man. And so but what I wanted to say, right, and I've been saying this a lot lately about like removing judgment from our lives and removing insecure judgment of ourselves. No one ever questioned if your grandmother had like Hummels or little like porcelain bells or like religious figurines or a cross or whatever. No one ever said boo about that. They were like, oh, isn't it nice? Grandma's got a collection of useless cat, right?
Had them. She just had them.
Just had them. When you went to your parents' house, you know what I mean? And they had like little knickknacks from around the place or little, souvenirs or whatever it was. Like my dad, I think my dad and stepmom had like a little like wooden cat that like sat on the top of the piano, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
No one judged it. No one went, why do they have a cat there? Like, aren't they too old to be having figurines around the house?
Yeah.
No, accent pieces. You're correct, my friend. Accent pieces. Well, screw you. We grew up in the 80s and 90s. We like plastic. We don't like porcelain. We don't like wood. We like plastic. And we like our plastic to be molded like our favorite film, music, and television characters.
That's right.
So screw all of you for judging us. I won't be part of it. Matt, hooray for your bobbleheads. Scott, hooray for your figures. And
hooray for your accent pieces.
Feeling bad for themselves. Yeah.
So that's essentially what I've been working on, trying to revamp things down here. And I also got like a new, you can't really see it, but I got a new like table for this little section next to my TV and all that kind of stuff. So kind of like acquiring new pieces and just kind of redoing things down here.
Show us that thermos, Scott. Don't be afraid. Show us
the Dunkin' Donuts, the vintage Dunkin' Donuts thermos.
Look at that.
Come on, bro.
As a collector from Boston area, Massachusetts area, you have to have Dunkin' Donuts.
You gotta have a Dunkin' Donuts thermos for sure.
It is. It's the law of the Massachusettsite to have a Dunkin' Donuts thermos. Dude, it's impressive. I'm loving what you're doing down in the basement.
Thank you. So since I didn't watch much this week, I will jump into my pickups, if that's okay.
Yeah, pick them up, baby.
I did recently have a birthday. So I purchased a lot of things and received a lot of things for my birthday. And I'll just go through them really, really quickly. On DVD, we talked about it on the show 2 weeks ago. Somebody brought it up in the chat. And it was a film that I recently watched for the first time myself. It is famously known for having a quote on the front of it that says better than Dazed and Confused, even though it is very much not. But we did get The Stoned Age on DVD for like $9, I think it was, on Amazon. We picked up Rules of Attraction on Blu-ray, which is a very enjoyable film. Another one that I recently rewatched.
It's Van der Beek and Shannon Sossaman, right?
Yeah. Speaking of the Van der Beek, we also picked up Varsity Blues on 4K, one of my favorite films. We also picked up Starship Troopers on 4K.
Lovely.
We also picked up Killer Clowns from Outer Space on 4K. Scream Factory release.
Yeah, I gotta get that 4K.
And then
I'm still rocking the DVD of Killer Clowns.
What's that?
I said I'm still rocking the DVD of Killer Clowns. I got to upgrade to the 4K.
Is it the MGM Midnight Movies release?
It is. Yeah.
I love that one. I remember when I bought that at when I was working at Best Buy. You're not gonna like this one, but I'm gonna display it anyway. I picked up Joker on 4K because I do think at the very least it looks really, really good.
And I will admit to that. It does look really, really good.
Yeah. We picked up the Scarface 4K. For those of you that didn't know, Amazon was recently running a 3 for $30 4K deal. And we did Scarface, Joker, and the last one that I picked up was The Terminator, which is the movie that brought my wife and I together.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Could you share the story or not?
Yeah, so my wife and I met on a dating website, and she had The Terminator listed as one of her favorite films. So for me, it was like, all right, she's not only gorgeous, but if she likes The Terminator, she's got to be cool too. So, and then lo and behold, it all worked out.
I love it.
We've been married now for close to 10 years and have 2 kids and living the dream, brother.
We love it. What a wonderful family you have. What wonderful people you are.
You want to do some pickups, and then I'll jump. And then when you do your pickups, I'll jump into. I bought It's funny because I was saying earlier, I bought a lot of VHS. That is also a lot of VHS. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know you ordered a VHS lot. Yeah. I just want to mention we've got some comments and some new people.
Oh, good.
C Pac-Man has joined and says, "Yo, hey guys."
C Pac, what's up?
What's up, C-Pac? Holly Danger has joined. The wonderful Holly Danger from the Danger Gallery. And she says, we just rewatched Terminator 2 last weekend. And Gary Hill says, Rules of Attraction contains a commentary track containing Carrot Top, and he has nothing to do with the movie.
Stop. I need to look at that now.
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Apparently so. Z Junebug says so romantic.
Oh yeah,
I agree. My wife and I met because of the movie Phantasm, so
that's right.
It's all good. And Matt Poirier just puts 2 little hearts there. Very happy. Everyone's loving the romantic Scotty Tooms.
Yay!
So what'd you pick up in the VHS lot, buddy? Show me.
Oh, good Lord! All right, we'll just do a few of the I don't know, a few off the top here. It had a copy of Dracula, which is pretty sweet. The classic collection, MCA Universal. Let's see. We had The Terror from Beyond Space.
Nice.
The MGM. And the main reason why I bought it was because it had I think it had all of the Bonds.
Nice.
And most of them are still in the plastic, actually. Like these 2 are still in the plastic. So
lovely.
That was pretty sweet. This is an interesting thing too that I'd never seen. I didn't know existed, but it's a Video OH ! For kids of the Wizard of Oz.
Oh wow! Look at that right there.
Kind of interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Video.
I don't have that.
VIDDY.
I think I have about 4. Wizard of Oz is one of Kim's favorite films of all time, and I have it on I think every format right now.
Nice. The owner of this lot was also a big Kevin Costner fan, so it came with a copy of Tin Cup, which is one of my favorite Kevin Costner films. Love Tin Cup. More Bond stuff. Oh, this is a pretty good one. A CBS Fox copy of the Day the Earth Stood Still.
Lovely.
So that's pretty sweet. And then The piece de resistance, so to speak, is this little tape here that doesn't have a cardboard slip. It's called Urban Heat, and it was released by Femme Productions. So, of course, if one goes online and Googles Urban Heat released by Femme Productions, they will see that it was, in fact, a pornographic film released in 1984, I think. So, yeah, that's a kind of an interesting little. It's the only one in there. I don't know.
From romance to porn, the Scott Tooms VHS story.
Yeah. So that was a good lot that I picked up. Like I said, mostly snagged it for the bonds that are I think more than 75% of them are still in the plastic. So that's pretty sweet.
Snagged them for the bond, but stayed for the porn.
There you go. Exactly. So that's what I picked up recently.
Love it.
Yes, sir.
Well, I just went this very morning to Bridgeport, Connecticut, and I went to the archive. Whoop, whoop!
Oh, yeah.
The archive. Shout out to my boys down at the archive. And all three of my boys were down at the archive today, and we had a wonderful conversation about PM entertainment. Whoop, whoop! Nice. All right. So very excited about that. Yeah, three guys. It was they're my favorite guys. They're my three favorite who work at the archive, and they were all great. There. But I picked myself up some VH of the S. But of course, I couldn't also go without picking up Wings Hauser and the Carpenter on Blu-ray.
Oh, that's great cover art too, man.
It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
Who put that out?
Vinegar Syndrome.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
So I picked up Wings on the old Blu-ray. So I'm very excited about that. The Carpenter is a great Canadian horror film that has a very unique Canadian weird sense of humor, and they play the horror in it like completely deadpan. It's an intriguing movie. It's very cool.
Excellent.
But then I got some VHS. So I will be quick with the first two. As you know, me's a PM Entertainment fan. Yes. And so whenever I see some PM Entertainment tapes, I have to pick them up and own them. They have to be mine.
Snatch them up.
It's natural. I have to snatch them up. So we managed to find not one but two PMN tapes today.
Nice.
We have Traci Lords in A Time to Die.
Whoa. Hey, I think it's her birthday today.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. It was either today or yesterday.
Also, man, do you know what's also cool about this tape?
What's that?
I'm wearing red. You're wearing red. And baby, this tape is red. Look at that.
Cool. Nice.
Sweet red tape.
You don't see that often.
Yeah. A red PM Entertainment tape. Look at the PM Entertainment mark right there. Burnt into the red plastic. Yeah. Boom. That was worth the price of that tape.
That's awesome.
Very happy about the red tape.
Red tape. Wow.
Yeah, and then the other one is Riot with Gary Daniels, which I got on the old PM there as well. Nice. That is just a regular tape, but it does have a Be Kind Rewind sticker on it.
Awesome.
Which is fun. So I got those two because I have to, as I say, when I see a PM Entertainment, I got to pick it up. Yeah. Other people in the chat will know that Gary Hill and myself have been doing a In the Pere Way Michael Pere series on the After Movie Diner and his podcast Cinema Beef, which is part of the Butcher Shop Legion of Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, all of the things. But his show is Cinema Beef, or the show I appear on is Cinema Beef. We've been doing Michael Pere films between that show and the After Movie Diner, so you have to subscribe to both to get all the Pere Way goodness. But that means that when I see Pere in the wild, I can't but have to pick it up. So I picked up Triple Cross.
Sweet.
Pere and Billy D. So you've got crack open some Colt 45 and watch some Triple Cross, my friend. Michael Pere, Billy D. Williams, and Patrick Bergin in Triple Cross. So nice. I'm excited to see that. Never seen it before. But Big Face Pere, had to pick it up. I'm in the Pere way yet again. So you were talking James Bond, right?
It was, yes.
One of the first James, although I've watched James Bond my whole life from every era because it was on Christmas TV all the time in Britain. My first Bond in the cinema that intoxicated me into the franchise was License to Kill. And License to Kill with the T-Dolts, with the Timothy Dolts, the T Dalton. Shout out to T Dalton. You got to be a T-dog, man. Anyway, T-Dolts. The the Bond woman in that, an American Bond woman, no less. An American Bond women are fairly scarce. They're normally like European or South American or something like that. Yeah. American Bond woman and former Mrs. Richard Gere, Carey Lowell is in that movie, and I had from a very early age. Carey Lowell was to a young man of 14 or whatever I was. Was a moment. Carey Lowell was a moment. Now let's just say that. And so when I saw this movie, which I'd never heard of before, called Down Twisted, which is a Carey Lowell starring movie.
Wow.
She's the lead in this film. I couldn't pass it up. It wasn't that expensive. It had Carey Lowell on the cover. It looks to be a sort of murderous thriller, double cross action kind of film.
Okay.
Carey Lowell. I just thought the cover was pretty great too. Look, she's watching someone smuggling a gun in her sunglasses. It's just and it's called Down Twisted. It's also a canon movie. So I don't know. I just felt like the stars were aligning with this one.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So I got that. And then last but not least, I got years ago, I did an Andrew McCarthy-a-thon on the New Year's Eve episode of the After Movie Diner, where Doc Paul Croson and Mo and myself always, and you've appeared on one of them very early on, one of them. But Doc, Mo, and myself always talk about like one actor. We pick one actor or one type of movie or one whatever, or a trilogy or something, and we talk about that. And we did Andrew McCarthy-a-thon. And one of the movies I watched for all the Andrew McCarthy, and I watched something like 25 Andrew McCarthy movies.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen out there, I do not recommend it. It was slightly better than the Before They Were Famous George Clooney episode, in which I had to sit through Red Surf, which is enough to make anyone want to garrote themselves. But I covered Night of the Running Man with Scott Glenn and Andrew McCarthy. And I remember thinking, you know what? I quite enjoyed that. Of all the movies, I quite enjoyed that one. So when I saw it on VHS,
nice,
Night of the Running Man with McCarthy with a goatee, no less, or a Van Dyke. A Van Dyke, McCarthy with a Van Dyke, and then a looming Scott Glenn. When
Scott Glenn, the villain?
VHS, I had to pick it up.
Is he the villain in that movie, Scott Glenn?
Sort of. Yes, he's the agent who's pursuing. He is the villain. He's the assassin that's pursuing him, I think. He's the mob assassin that's pursuing him.
You know what other movie Scott Glenn plays a great villain in?
No, sir.
One of my favorite films of all time. Urban Cowboy.
Urban Cowboy, right? Mentioned on that episode of the After Movie Diner where you came on and did.
That's right, yeah. And hey, wait a minute. So the show that you were just talking about, did you say it's on New Year's?
It's just the New Year's special. Yeah.
So was that the Ellen Burstyn forehead leather episode that we did?
That was the one that you were on. Yes, the Ellen Burstyn. No, yeah, Ellen Barkin, wasn't it? Ellen Barkin.
Yeah, not Ellen Burstyn. Ellen Barkin.
Ellen Barkin. Yeah. Because you were really into the Barkin, and therefore
I was. I was going through a Barkin phase.
A Barkin fan, Ellen Barkin phase. Mo and I decided to like.
Really good. I think I had about 6 Miller Lite tall boys that night. So
yes. So go back and listen to that. It's still up on all podcatchers that you might listen to.
Pick of the week.
Matt in the chat is telling me that this with the Carey Lowell is an Albert Pyon or Pune joint. He who made Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And then Gary Hill said, did Doc actually watch the movies? No, I think he watched like 2 Andrew McCarthy movies. Gary Hill says, I'm very still into the Barkin. So you and Gary, that was why we were ribbing you, because you said, we were like, oh, you mean like Sea of Love, early Barkin? And you were like, no, like Barkin now. And we were like, what?
Oh, Lordy Lord.
Yes. And Kyle Pulling says, I want you to know, tonight I get to watch a movie with Hauer, Pleasance, and Powers Booth.
Oh.
Wait, there's not a Wings Hauser Donald Pleasance movie?
Or is there? Or is that separate films, perhaps?
Oh, Hauer. He's talking about Rutger Hauer.
Oh, Rutger Hauer. Okay.
He is talking. I know exactly what movie he's talking about. It also has Kathleen Turner in it. It's about an environmentalist. A Breed Apart is what he's talking about. Rutger Hauer, Donald Pleasance, Powers Booth, Kathleen Turner. That's what Carl Polling is watching tonight.
Carey Lowell, Down Twisted. I'm looking it up right now because I'm just.
How much does it get out of 10 on IMDb? Did I buy a lemon?
5.
Oh, that's okay.
5.2. Yeah, that's not bad.
No, that's very acceptable. I'll take a 5.2.
And it's pre-License to Kill too, which is,
Yeah, it's Carey Lowell. It's the only one I know where she starred in the movie.
Listen, she played Dottie Henson in the A League of Their Own television series that apparently never got picked up, or did get picked up and only lasted for 6 episodes. I don't know. IMDb's crazy.
So Gary says, still very hot in that Brosnan Netflix movie, Barkin Yum. Kyle confirmed.
Gary's going way. I don't even think I go that far. I have not seen Ellen Barkin in anything recently, so I cannot speak to the recent Barkin look. But
what about Ocean's 13? She's in that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that was,
And Matt says 5 for Pyan or Pune is high.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look,
that's the director there.
That is Albert Pyan.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. When you brought up Cyborg, I was talking to one of my buddies recently about how I have pretty much not seen any JCVD movies after. I don't even know. I've seen Hard Target, which I love, but I haven't seen Cyborg. I haven't seen Universal Soldier. I haven't seen, what was the other one that he was in? Black Eagle or whatever it is. I haven't seen Sudden Death. I haven't seen. I think I did see Double Impact, the one with him and was that the one with him and Dennis Rodman? But there's a whole slew of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies that I haven't seen yet that I really need to, buckle in and watch.
And Kyle is saying that we are dead to him because we haven't mentioned Buckaroo Banzai. Kyle, we haven't mentioned Ellen Barkin and Buckaroo Banzai yet. You didn't wait. If you got to the end of the show and I had not mentioned Buckaroo Banzai, then sure, you can say that I'm dead to you. But how do you not know that I was about to go on a Peter Weller, Ellen Barkin, Jeff Goldblum, John Lithgow sized rant about how wonderful Ellen Barkin is in Buckaroo Banzai? You didn't know. You judged too soon, and now you are dead to me, sir.
Peak Barkin for me is Diner. That's peak Barkin for myself.
Well, that's very early Barkin.
And then what was that show she was in recently? Animals or something like that, where she had I don't even remember.
No, I don't know. I don't know. Gary Hill says he likes trashy Barkin. He likes with Lance Henriksen in Johnny Handsome.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I think I need to see more Barkin. You gotta start barking up the wrong.
You gotta start barking up the right tree, my friend.
I do. I have to do the research and look for some more Barkin to watch.
Yes.
Pick of the week.
Well, no, I mean, pick of the week was pickup of the week. It was those movies that I just went.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just finish up with a pick of the week since I didn't have anything that I watched. And this was just kind of a random pick that I just grabbed off the shelf just so that I could have something to talk about. It is nowhere near as good as Karate Kid. It is not a good adaptation or update of Karate Kid. Nowhere near as good as an update of Karate Kid as the movie Never Back Down. I don't know if anyone has ever seen that movie, but that's a good one.
Or BM Entertainment's very own A Dangerous Place, which is also a Karate Kid clone. that is currently the episode of the PM Entertainment podcast that is live currently.
Excellent. So I picked this one. I used to love this movie when I was a kid. I don't know how much I need to say before people will get it, but Chuck Norris, Jonathan Brandis, the late great. It even has Winnie Cooper from the Wonder Years. It has Richard Mole from Night Court. And it is the classic Sidekicks. Just one of my favorites. It's so cheesy. It's so corny. But listen, when your main antagonist in the movie's last name is Cellini, I mean, does it get much better than that? I don't think so.
Doesn't.
Randy Cellini. That's such a good, like, high school jerk's name, you know?
However, does it have a sequence in which a character macing a hobo in the face leads to our hero realizing from the ghost of his dead brother who really killed him? Because that's what A Dangerous Place has. And I know people are going to have to rewind and watch that again to follow that train of thought. In A Dangerous Place, one of the bad dojo guys, the Cobra Kai guys, who are called the Serpents or something, one of them is sat in a truck. There's a hobo who's been going around like asking for change because he's going to get whatever, right? He maces him. He grabs maces him in the face. And as he maces him in the face, our hero, played by Ted Jan Roberts, sees his brother's ghost. And in the apparition, his brother is crying and sort of like indicating his tears. And the brother goes, "That's how you killed him. You maced him in the face." So we can claim that A Dangerous Place has a ghostly reveal based on macing a hobo in the face that solves the crime of the movie. If you don't want to be watching that right now, I don't know what to tell you, because that sounds like the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Oh my gosh. All right, look, we got let me see. Kyle Pauling says Brandis exploitation peaked at Ladybugs. I would agree with that. Ladybugs was a fine film. Classic Rodney Dangerfield.
They were having a Buckaroo Banzai or Ricochet debate in regards to John Lithgow.
Gary Hill bought the 4K for Sidekicks on the first day, as did I. Yes, of course. Vinegar Syndrome put that out on 4K.
Mako for life. Gary Hill. Mako is also in A Dangerous Place, as is Corey Feldman.
The Feldog.
The Feldog. Rocking 70s Elvis Burns, my friend. Seriously.
Feldog's my guy, man.
Yeah. If Chuck Norris's movie is called Sidekicks, this movie could also be called Sideburns.
Oh, man.
Feldog is rocking a pair. I'm telling you.
4 a.m. one. Animal Kingdom. That was a TV show with Ellen Barkin. Yes. And Double Team was the name of the movie with Dennis Rodman and Jean-Claude Van Damme. What was Double Impact? Wasn't that a Van Damme movie too?
It is. Double Impact is himself. Yeah. So Double Impact is when he's two sets of twins.
That's right.
One that grew up in Hong Kong.
That's right.
One that grew out in California.
Yet they both speak the same.
Yes. The writers literally have to come up. So there's two types. Last year I watched.
Tried to explain it away.
Yeah. So last year I watched almost all the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. I watched like 100 Jean-Claude Van Damme movies for the Gary Pauling show, Genre Core, which is a great podcast that's out there right now. And I covered, I don't know how many Van Dammes, tens of Van Dammes.
Yeah.
And there are two types of Van Dammes. There are the one Van Damme movies where the writers do flips and twists trying to explain why a Belgian is doing anything anywhere in the history of things.
Yep.
And then there are the Van Damme movies where they try and pass the Belgian off as something else. So like in Hard Target, for example, they try to pass it off as like Creole or Cajun or whatever, right? And then the third type of Van Damme is where they don't acknowledge it at all. And he's just Agent Rick Cooper or something, but really it's just Jean-Claude Van Damme being like, "Yes, I am Rick Cooper, let us go solve your crime," or whatever. So those are the three types of Van Dammes I know, because I have studied Van Dammeology at a high level, at a at a real master's degree level.
Excellent. Well,
Jerry Lewis is holding it down in Double Impact. Yes. Gary.
Excellent. And then we said, Gary, both contain Mako. What had Mako? Sidekicks and
A Dangerous Place.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
hey,
Mako is his sensei, the Ted Jan Roberts' sensei.
Oh. Speaking of Ted Jan Roberts, I do have one Ted Jan Roberts movie, The Magic Kid.
Yes, that's a PM Entertainment film.
Yeah, I have it on DVD, yeah.
Yeah, I have Magic Kid 1, 2, Tiger Heart, and A Dangerous Place all on VHS. And I have the one that he did with Johnny from Karate Kid, Zabka.
Oh.
He did one called The Power Within.
Oh,
Ted Jan Roberts and Zabka, Billy Zabs, with a very bad 90s mop haircut.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Magic Kid's the one with Flounder from Animal House, right?
Yeah. And he co-writes the second one.
Whoa.
Stephen
Firth?
Stephen Firth, yes.
Yeah. Classic.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, look, the amount of information I have up here about stuff that is completely useless, like who wrote Magic Kid 2.
Yeah.
PJ Souls from Halloween is in Little Bigfoot. So, you know.
Whoa. Oh, my Lord.
PM Entertainment classic, Little Bigfoot. And Little Bigfoot 2, which is like Island of Little Bigfoot.
Wow. All right, man. Well, listen, I think that probably does it for episode 3 here of the new and improved VHS show. A good solid hour of VHS madness. And, you know, and other things too. Physical media pickups, the whole 9 yards. Down Twisted. What's that one called again?
Night of the Running Man.
Night of the Running Man and Sidekicks. Listen. Oh, and wait. We can't forget. Urban Heat. We can't
porn.
forget.
First time porn has appeared on VHS show, and it will not be the last. I will try and find some VHS porn by next time.
Nice, awesome. Let me see if I have one more thing I can grab out of my lot that I purchased. Something.
Also, while Scotty Tooms is doing that, I want to let the audience know: only our generation will know the joy of finding random pornography at either railroad sidings or at campsites in the middle of woods that aren't really campsites.
That's like what I'm saying, dude. When we were
where
kids,
VHS porn lived its best life.
You had to know somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody that had an older brother who's him and his group of friends would hang out in the woods, and they stashed some mags out like in a empty tree trunk. Like that's how you accessed it.
Ninja porn. Ninja porn. You had to be like a little bit creepy and sneaky about it.
Yeah.
None of this just Googling porn and then all this porn happens.
It's different.
But yes, railroad sidings. So in England, you know, we have a train station in every hedgerow. Like you cough and you hit the next train station.
We got High Noon and Magnum Force. Those are in there too. So
those aren't bad. Some class addition to your VHS show.
Somebody was a big this is bad. I wish they had more because I do want to watch myself some more Seagal, but they did have Under Siege too. So.
Under Siege.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones and Seagal.
So it was a pretty good
and Erica Eliana. Right?
Yes. The cake scene.
The cake. Erica the cake.
The cake. Oh Lord. All right, cool, man. Well, listen, thank you everybody for watching tonight. Appreciate it. Like when we first started the show, we thought it was going to be probably like 30 to 45 minutes, but John and I just like are so in love with each other and are so in love with our physical media collections that we just can't stop talking about it. So hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back in 2 weeks. At that point, I will have at least watched a few films, and I'm gonna try to do some more like I guess in the world of vinyl record collecting, we would call it bin diving. But I want to find some more like off kilter stuff that I wouldn't normally go for. I want to find some interesting things to be able to talk about on the show, because I don't want to keep pulling out the old classics. I want some different stuff. I want some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
you like want Urban Heat,
Down Twisted.
Yeah, or Down Twisted. Or Down Twisted. That's what I'm looking for. So hopefully that'll happen, and like stuff like that.
Parade coming at you.
Here you go.
Look at that handsome man right there.
So I'm gonna try harder. I'm gonna try harder to find some more. Like I said, some more off kilter stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. It's the best way to be, my friend. It's the best.
I agree. Yeah, 100%. Where can the people find you on social media, Johnny?
Oh my God, everywhere.
If you haven't, anyone who's watching probably already knows. So
yes, everywhere. After Movie Diner, wherever the words after, movie, and diner are put together, that be me. Instagram, Facebook, all of YouTube, all of the places. I have a video store called Be Kind Movie Vault in New Milford, Connecticut. That's in northwestern Connecticut, right on the New York border.
Get down.
Very easy location from New York City and from White Plains and places like that. Come by Be Kind Movie Vault in New Milford, Connecticut. And on top of that, I also have a new podcast called the PM Entertainment Podcast. We're on episode 8. Matt Poirier, who's in the chat, he's been on 2 episodes. We're talking A Dangerous Place, this episode that's out right now. Please go follow, please go like, please go share. PM Entertainment forever, baby.
Excelente. And you can find me at the Analog Basement on Instagram and the Tube and the Twitch. And just stay tuned. Who knows what the future will bring, but at the very least, it will bring another episode of the show in 2 weeks. So,
and happy birthday, Traci Lords.
Yes, happy birthday, Traci Lords. 58, I think I remember.
Oh, 58. A sprightly, young.
Yeah. Not bad. 58, 58's the new 48.
58 is the new, she can do whatever the hell she wants because she's Traci Mother Flubbin' Lords.
100%.
My friend.
All right, everybody. See you in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching. This has been the VHS Show. Sayonara.